All right, like I said after the game, obviously disappointing. Turnovers by me are absolutely inexcusable. It's just frustrating. It stings a lot. Having the ball touch your hand every game and you being responsible for 4 turnovers in a tight game like that is, it's frustrating. You continue to keep trying to work to improve it, and that's the number one focus for me right now heading into this week of practice. But it was we did some really good things on offense, and those couple mistakes by especially the turnovers by me are they sting, especially when we had our defense playing that well and we had a chance to win it at the end. So exactly what I thought after the game as far as being disappointed, but it's in the past now, and we have to prepare to head into Chicago and face another really good defense. So,
how different is it for you this third week preparing when there's another quarterback here who's getting at least a part of the first team snaps?
Well, every time, the way I view it, you have to earn the right to put your hands underneath center on Sunday, or Sunday afternoon, Sunday night, or Monday, and that's just how it is. That's how I've always viewed it. I think that you have to earn the right to do that, and turning the ball over 7 times in 2 games is just inexcusable, regardless of whose fault it is. It's inexcusable, but you have to, like I said, you have to earn that right.
Todd says you're the starter. Do you get a sense that is you're the starter for now, and that could change before this game, or do you fully expect to start against the Bears?
I just go by what Todd tells me, so you're gonna have to ask him that.
What does he tell you exactly?
What he told you that that I'm the starter and Kyle's gonna get reps, and whoever gives the team a best chance to win, then he'll play.
Tyler, how much, when you look at the video, is it still learning a sense with the first team receivers and getting that feel so that if you're under pressure and you're in trouble, they know what to do? And how many of the mistakes have come down to, if there had been a little bit more time between the two of you, those are mistakes that probably wouldn't happen?
I think for the most part that that I guess I view that as an excuse. When you're a backup quarterback, you don't really have the luxury of having that time with the receivers. So I never really looked at it like that, because when you're the backup, you don't have that luxury, and that's not an excuse that you're allowed to have. So can't really comment too much on that, just because I never really viewed it like that.
Can you explain the difference? You played preseason games. When you get into a regular season game as opposed to practice, just the speed difference, and how much is it over time maybe going to slow down a little bit for you? Just describe how different it is in an actual NFL game where you finally get the chance to do it.
Yeah, bullets are moving pretty fast, and the preseason is pretty vanilla on defense, and what you see from the Steelers on Sunday night was graduate work. So. But it's I hope it's going to continue to keep slowing down, and you just got to keep for me, I just have to continue to keep working and pressing ahead. There's no real other option at this point. You have to continue to keep working hard and trying to get better every day, and not really worrying about anything other than that.
With Kyle waiting in the wings, does this feel like your last chance to prove you can hold down the spot?
I never really viewed it like that. Like I told you guys before, I've had I was the practice squad quarterback, and the third string guy who didn't dress, and the backup, and the starter for the last 2 weeks. So, I was never a silver spooner the job was ever handed to me. So, it's it's one of those things where you have to continue to keep fighting, and those are things that I can't control right now. I have enough to worry about right now as far as continuing to try to get better every day in practice, and try to focus on what the coaches are asking me to do, and really try to execute the game plan. So all that other excess stuff on that outside, I can't really worry about that. I don't have enough time.
How did Kyle look out there?
You have to ask Kyle. He looked like a good quarterback. He's a good quarterback. He's I don't know how many yards he's thrown for, but he's been proven that he can throw the heck out of the ball. You know, he did it a couple years, 2 years ago in Denver. I think last year before halfway point, those guys were firing all cylinders. So he's a heck of a quarterback. He's got a lot of knowledge and has been really good to me. And I'm excited, you know, just to learn a lot from him.
You mentioned the Steelers defense, kind of graduate school work. With the Bears defense, is it kind of back to 100, 200 level classes?
I mean, the thing is that Chicago, they do what they do and they do it well, and they've been together a long time. You know, they're not as vanilla as they used to be as far as you know, the Tampa 2, but they're still a really good defense, and they have, you know, guys that they've played together for a long time, you know, with Briggs and Urlacher and Charles Tillman out there who, you know, seem to have assimilated all these other guys that have come in, can kept them on the same page. So they do some other things other than the Tampa 2, but they're still a disguised team, and they're going to be a big challenge for us.
Couple more guys.
Your coach had mentioned that maybe there were some things that they saw, the coaching staff saw, that they thought they could correct it, or especially on the turnovers. Was there something that you saw looking at the film or something early this week that just clicked that you saw was a common theme?
Just have to make better decisions, you know, with the football. It's like I said, when you have the ball in your hands at all times, and you're making a decision in a split second, you know, it's not easy, but that's why, you know, there's only a couple starting quarterbacks that are really, really good for a long time in the NFL, is because they've learned how to do that. And, you know, I'm learning how to do that right now. And obviously, you know, it stinks having to, you know, contribute a lot of turnovers in these last 2 losses. But it's been a great learning experience, and the decision making is the big thing that's really the cause of that.
Tyler, you said you've been a quarterback at every level, the practice squad, the backup, and now the starter. How different are you now in this week than you were a couple weeks ago? That experience has to be invaluable. What you've learned has to be invaluable. You have to be different than you were when you first took the reins a couple weeks ago.
You know, personally, other than probably having a lot of people in Kansas City that are mad at me for turning the ball over 7 times, you know, I really haven't changed that much. You know, it's you know, you have probably a sick feeling in your gut, you know, because you knew you didn't give your team the best chance to win, you know, turning the ball over that many times. But, you know, it's a learning experience, and you just have to continue to keep learning from it. And, you know, from my perspective, I really haven't changed that much. You know, it's just other than those couple things that I mentioned.
You mentioned the people being upset with you for the 7 turnovers. Clearly, you've heard the criticism. Do you think it's fair? How have you been dealing with it?
I said probably. I don't read the paper, and I don't have enough time for that. I got to live upstairs in the film room and spend time in the playbook. So I said probably. So I'm just guessing, knowing how people are.
Last 2 games, when you've had a chance to talk to your dad afterwards, did he talk to you as a coach, or did he talk to you as dad?
Both. You know, it's obviously he's disappointed in his, you know, things didn't work out for his son, but being a coach, you know that turning the ball over is not gonna help. But, you know, just it's, you know, but there was also a lot of good things, you know, that we did on offense, you know, and we still had a chance to win the game at the end. And, you know, those things happen. And the biggest thing is are you learning from those mistakes? And I hope right now that you know, that's a lot of learning. But you know, that's why you come to work every day and continue to keep pounding the rock and work at it.